Now boys, I have just one question for you. What happened? What happened to Mecha Break? Not gonna lie though, the VTubers might have a field day with this one, but that's pretty much the essence of this video. It's more of a question and less of a statement. How did Mecha Break go from peaking at well over 130,000 players on Steam at launch to now barely being able to crack 6,000 just 2 months later? Yeah, okay, I said crack. Who even fucking laughed at that shit? Anyway, my point is Mecha Break even has 2 new mechs coming in the next season update, and they're constantly keeping players updated with what the future holds for the game. So how the hell did it crash and burn this badly in such a short period of time? Now when I say crash and burn, I use that quite loosely. If you want to see what crashing and burning really looks like, well, look no further than Concord, which quite literally couldn't last 2 weeks.
That's what she said.
The game was up for like a week and a half and peaked at a staggering 697 players on Steam. And mind you, Concord had a reported budget of around $200 million. Some sources speculate that when including all associated expenses, the total cost could be as high as $400 million. However, many industry insiders consider the $400 million figure to be an exaggeration, estimating the more realistic development cost alone to be between $100 million and $150 million. Now to put that into perspective, a game about plowing the leader of Soviet Russia had a higher peak player count than Concord, and the budget for that game was probably like $5. But enough about Stalin railing Concord. Where did it all go wrong for Mecha Break? But first, what is Mecha Break? Well, put simply, Mecha Break is an online team-based third-person mech shooter developed by Amazing Seasun Games. Yeah, that's actually the name of the studio. Now it features team coordination in battles with multiple game modes, including a 3v3 arena mode, 6v6 operations mode, and a large-scale PvPvE extraction mode called Mashmak. Players pilot mechs called Strikers, each with unique roles such as attacker, defender, and support, offering diverse playstyles. The game emphasizes fast-paced, high-tech combat with both ranged and melee attacks, along with jet boost flying across large maps. The game also includes a compelling sci-fi story setting involving a world energy crisis and contaminated zones accessible only by mechs. Now to be quite honest with you, all of that actually sounds pretty fucking cool. Now me personally, I prefer the 6v6 mode. I even had a little mini-series where I'd recreate popular Transformers and then take them into Operation Verge just to see how well I would do with them. That's funny, GG, we have Optimus Prime, Autobots, rollout, Optimus has 200 DBs. Oh, dude, that's funny. Nah, Panther, nah. And as a Falcon main, obviously I did a lot better using Falcon as opposed to the other mechs I also used. Not gonna lie though, there were so many people who hated the fact that I called them builds instead of recolors in those video titles. Like dude, let's just call a spade a spade. If I call them recolors, ain't nobody clicking on those videos, my dude. Let's just be honest with ourselves here. Anyway, I've also played the 3v3 arena mode and the extraction mode before, and as cool as those modes are, those modes just aren't for me. Although the extraction mode has grown on me quite a bit, and this is coming from someone who really doesn't like extraction games all that much. I think as far as extraction games go, Exoborn is probably the only exception I'd make, because I genuinely enjoyed that alpha test when I did play it. Whether it be the world, the traversal, the gunplay, and just everything in between, that game was pretty goddamn solid for an alpha test. And with a beta dropping in under 2 weeks of me recording this video, you can be damn sure that I'm gonna check it out. Anyway, enough about that, back to Mecha Break. Before we get to the game modes, let's briefly talk about customization. Now the customization options for mechs in Mecha Break are fairly detailed and extensive. Players have access to a wide range of paint jobs featuring various colors and patterns such as flames, camo, and stripes. They can also apply insignias and decals for further personalization. Customization also extends beyond symbol colors to include neon accents, glows, and structural skins that change the appearance of specific mech parts. Additionally, each mech has multiple customizable design slots, enabling players to create different looks and swap between them. On top of mech customization, the pilot character also offers intricate customization options, including body features, hairstyles, and outfits, allowing players to craft a highly individualized identity in the game. Overall, the system supports deep aesthetic personalization, allowing each player's mech and pilot to stand out uniquely. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, the Good Squad absolutely had a field day with the pilot customization for reasons we are all well aware of. Now onto the game modes. One of the first game modes you'll be introduced to is the 6v6 mode called Operation Verge, which is the mode I've played the absolute most. Now the highest I've gotten in ranked 6v6 currently is Diamond, because I'm not gonna lie, solo queuing with 180 to 200 plus MS is an absolute nightmare, and I'm more than likely going up against other players with like 80 MS or lower. So I pretty much stopped playing ranked the second I hit Diamond, which was like a month ago. I'd keep grinding ranked, but I know damn well that it's going to be an excessive uphill battle, considering that I'm not even a sweat and I'm constantly getting fucked by the latency with random spikes that completely ruin any chance I have at winning a fair fight. But the mode itself is actually incredibly fun, and it features 10 distinct maps, each featuring 5 unique objectives, those being payload escort, where teams race to escort a payload to a destination faster than the opposing team; team deathmatch, which is a classic mode where teams aim to eliminate enemy players to reach the kill target; dismantle corite extractors, where teams destroy enemy corite extractors placed around the map to earn points; data nodes, where teams capture and hold specific control points on the map to accumulate points; and finally key delivery, where teams collect keys from terminals and escort the key carrier to a drop-off point. Now the second game mode is the 3v3 Ace Arena mode, which currently only has one core game mode, which is a team deathmatch. In this mode, the objective is to be the first team to achieve 8 kills to win the match. It's a fast-paced, combat-focused mode emphasizing team coordination and balanced team composition, and currently there are only 4 different maps available for this mode. Now even though this mode is fairly enjoyable in its own right, it unfortunately has way less replay value than the 6v6 mode. Now the final game mode, which I would argue has the absolute most replay value, is the extraction mode on the map called Mashmak. Now the extraction mode pretty much follows the same formula for what you'd expect from your traditional extraction shooter, but obviously because you are in this giant mech, everything is on a much grander scale. Basically it's a large scale PvP VE mode where players team up to explore a vast map filled with AI enemies and bosses. The objective is to loot valuable gear such as weapons, mods, cosmetics and blueprints by defeating NPC bots and completing missions across the map. Players must fight off enemies, manage resources and cooperate to survive, while the dangerous corite storms progressively affect the map. Extraction points open on a timer with limited availability, and players need to reach these zones to safely extract their loot. Supply drops and a radio menu for calling in air support add strategic depth. The mode combines intense combat, exploration and teamwork, requiring players to balance risk and reward to escape successfully with their gains. Overall though, Mashmak stands out as a deep, immersive extraction shooter experience with mechs, emphasizing both PvE challenges and competitive player interactions. Now the few things aside from the dynamic, high-risk gameplay that separates the extraction mode from the other modes is that you can upgrade your mech with various mods and weapons. You can even customize an airdrop that'll bring you various supplies should you ever call it in. Now the other thing that separates it from the other modes is that a lot of the mods, supplies and weapons that you successfully extract with can be sold for premium currency on the Matrix marketplace. And guess who buys these mods? Well, other players do. So in a nutshell, this economy for the most part is being sustained by the players for the players, which I think is actually really fucking cool. Now I'm gonna be honest, I don't play Mashmak often, but when I do, brother, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a real piece of shit.
Diz, you crazy, dog.
Man, I think I just loaded so fast. I'm like, ah!
Now, as I've mentioned before, extraction shooters have just never really been my thing. However, there are definitely a few outliers. Now, as for the things that I think could have potentially turned players away from the game, well, there are three things. The first thing was how they initially chose to monetize their bundles in game. Like, no bullshit, their first bundle they dropped costed like $48. Even Call of Duty with its dogshit Looney Tune Fortnite wannabe bundles didn't cost that much. And that's saying something, because to this day, Activision is still in fact cancer. Just look at Black Ops 7's reveal trailer. Ooh, brother, that ratio is really not looking good. Now, the second thing is actually the Matrix marketplace. Remember how I said mods, supplies, and weapons that you successfully extract with can be sold for premium currency, and that the economy for the most part is being sustained by the players for the players? Well, here's the thing. To buy any of those mods and supplies, you need premium currency. And how exactly do you get that premium currency? Well, you have to spend actual money to get it. Now, sure, those mods and supplies really don't cost much. They can be anywhere as low as 20 cents to as high as like $6. And for players who didn't want to grind the game in either hard or extreme difficulty to get those rare gold mods, they could just spend premium currency in the Matrix marketplace to buy the best mods for all the mechs that they use. Which some players, including myself, argue that this is pay to win as fuck, and to argue otherwise is an indefensible position. Everything about this aspect of the game screams pay to win, because those gold mods gives your mech some pretty decent buffs, especially if you're running with all gold mods, and the debuffs on gold mods aren't even as punishing. Point is, it doesn't matter how you slice it, this feature is pay to win, and I think it desperately needs a rework. Now, this is what I propose the devs do to solve this issue. Instead of using premium currency to purchase these mods and supplies, why don't players just use either mission tokens or the Matrix credits to buy them? Those are both in-game currencies that you earn simply by playing. This would quite literally remove the pay to win aspect completely, and players could just use the premium currency for cosmetics. That would honestly be a much better system than what we currently have now. Sure, you'd have to remove the feature that allows players to earn premium currency by selling mods and supplies on the marketplace, but I'd honestly take that over what's currently present. Now, obviously, don't hide every single fucking cosmetic behind premium currency, which funny enough, they actually don't. Like, there's some really cool shit you can purchase just using the mission tokens. Like, look at this flaming halberd for Elyseness that I still want to get, or even this lance for Panther, or this jet wing for Lumine. Like, holy shit, they're probably gonna take a while to get, and I'm pretty sure they're all seasonal, but to get these cosmetics, all you have to do is just play the game. Also, I think we need an in-game store where you can purchase a bunch of cosmetics using only in-game currency. Like, I doubt anyone's expecting it to be the best of the best, but give the players something other than the seasonal Matrix selections. Like, if players want the really cool shit like bundles and such, they're gonna have to use the premium currency, but for the really good or decent cosmetics, we should be able to purchase those using the currency you earn in-game. Now, the third thing is the game's menus and UI. Holy shit, it's a fucking convoluted and confusing mess, and half the time I have no idea where to find anything. Like, I genuinely had it so much worse the very first time I played the game during the alpha. Like, I have never been more confused looking at a game's menu, and I've played Japanese RPGs before. But you know what? Let's briefly take a moment to count the amount of menus and sub-menus we have at the top of the screen. Now, can somebody please explain to me, why the fuck do we have this many? Couldn't they find a better way to organize all this shit in a menu that's a lot easier to navigate? There's so many good things about this game, and then you see some shit like this and it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth. Like, no bullshit, I literally only figured out today how to recruit random players to team up with me. Maybe I'm fucking stupid, but just hear me out. So I mostly play Operation Verge, which means I'm always just in the Operation Verge sub-menu, which is in the tactical station menu, and there's no option to recruit players from the sub-menu, even though you can start a match from the sub-menu, which makes absolutely no fucking sense. Just a quick little FYI, it's the same thing with the extraction mode and the arena mode. In both of those sub-menus, there's no option to recruit players, even though you can start matches from those sub-menus. So in order to recruit players, you first need to go to the Striker Bay menu and then go to the lobby sub-menu in order to recruit players. How about you just allow us to recruit players for that particular mode in each of their respective sub-menus as well? How about that? It would be less fucking confusing and a lot easier to find and navigate. Now, unless you know where everything is and you're already familiar with the menu system, you aren't finding jack shit. And even when you thought you're familiar with the menu system, you are still going to lose track of where some things are. But yeah, for the most part, I'm not gonna lie, the menus actually just fucking suck. Anyway, that's the video. Not gonna lie though, through the entire process of me writing the script for this video to even me editing and doing the voiceover for this video, I have been sick this entire time. So if you don't mind, one like on this video is one healing potion for me to get better that much quicker. And at the time of me recording this video, it's already been a fucking week and a half, so I don't know why I'm still sick, but I still am. Sucks to suck, I guess. Anyway, as far as the video is concerned, do you agree with what was said or do you disagree? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.